Hi, everybody. It's Kathy here. I'm here for our Tuesday night tea talk, spiritual tea talk. Hopefully, you can join me. If you're here, I'd love to know where you're watching from. I know I get people from all over the world. I'm centered in the Toronto GTA area, but it's always lovely to see where people are from. So certainly, if you join me tonight, I'd love for you to comment hello and where you're from, and we're going to talk tonight about how a tea reading works. I have done this before, but I do get a lot of questions about how it works all online and everything else. So I wanted to talk about that again tonight. So hopefully you can join me. So first things first, I just want to say who I am. My name is Kathy. I'm a sipology or a steep tea consultant. So I've been selling quality loose leaf teas and tea accessories for over 8 years now. Love the products. As I've mentioned before, if you're a tea drinker, you really do need to check out the offerings, over 100 different teas, as well as the quality. And then we got some really neat accessories too. So travel mugs, teapots, everything tea related. So you must check that out if you're a tea drinker. And of course, I do tea leaf readings. So if you haven't had a reading from me before, I encourage you to get all your questions answered. And we'll go over what it looks like tonight. And I've been doing that professionally for well over 4 years. Been getting really great feedback lately about the accuracy and how I'm helping people. So I really do feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. But let's talk about how a tea reading works when it's online. Because obviously, before COVID, people would actually come here to my house, we'd sit, we we wouldn't really actually have a cup of tea because I've been doing this way pre-COVID, but it was a little bit more relaxed, and the person got to ask their questions, and we got to see each other. But to me, online with the video, I'm still picking up your energy. I'm still reading for that person, and as I said, I've had some really great feedback on the accuracy, so it seems to be working really well. But first thing I usually do when I invite somebody to get a reading is to pick a teacup. So this is the one that I picked earlier today. It's, to me, it's got a little bit of an oriental slant to it. I like the colors on it. As I've mentioned on other recordings too, one of the key things is to actually have it be plain on the inside. So it's hard to read the symbols if you've got a lot of stuff going on in here. You don't want to get confused as to what, of course, there are special cups. So there are cups that people buy just to do tea leaf readings, and they have signs and symbols in them. And then if the leaves show up on those, it has special meanings. But that's not what I use. I use a plain cup. And of course, I always include a saucer. And if anybody saw my Facebook post, you could see how many teacups I have. Those aren't all still in my collection, by the way, but obviously teacups seem to come into my life very easily. So this is what we're going to use tonight. And then I use tea. So the tea that I like to use is rooibos or red tea. The reason that I like to use that is because the leaves are very tiny, and it helps me to get more symbols or get more accuracy in them. If the leaves are really big, if you're using a loose leaf tea that's really big, then the leaves seem to clump together and to me don't make as clear a picture. So I really do prefer the rooibos, or if you don't have that at home, if you have loose leaf tea, you could actually just open that bag and have it dry and put some of those leaves into your cup dry. So I'm just going to take some of these leaves right now, and I'm going to invite anybody, if someone, I'm not doing readings, but if someone would like to be a guinea pig for me, I'd be happy to see what the cup's going to say for you tonight. So, but again, it'll be like really quick and only one thing that we're doing. The focus is not about giving the readings tonight. But if someone wants to pop in that's watching and see what the cup has for you. And that's the thing that I find quite intriguing too, is that it's almost like I don't even need to know ahead of time who I'm reading for. The way the universe works is all mysterious, and it finds the right person at the right time. So as I said, if you're here, oh, Margaret's here. There we go. The flowers. Oh, yes, like cherry blossoms. Thank you. All right, Margaret's volunteered to be my guinea pig tonight. Thank you so much. I didn't see the comments coming on automatically. So I'm just, I put a little bit of water so you can see that I have leaves and water in here, and I just kind of concentrate. Usually I actually close my eyes and concentrate and, say, what kind of messages do we have, and what can we have. So I see we got another volunteer, but we're going to go with Margaret right now. Sorry, she offered first. I saw her first. Anyways, so yeah, so I would just like concentrate, and I would ask the person that I'm reading for to usually concentrate on their questions. They don't need to tell me what is happening or any long story. It's all in their head. They can, and some of the common questions I will cover in a little bit, career or romance or, things that are happening. Are you going to move? Those sort of things seem to come up a lot. So anyway, so this is for Margaret. We're just going to see what sort of things come. And again, just showing you what happens in your own reading. So I like to turn the cup and allow the water to drain, and then do a little tap for good luck. And let's see what we need to tell Margaret. Oh, so the first thing that's coming up for you, and I don't know if I've done a reading for you, but Margaret here, and I don't know how well you can see that, it's almost looking like those scale of justice. I'm a Libra, and I always think of those scales, and that's the first symbol that I'm seeing for you. So it's making me think that there is something not necessarily legal, but something that needs to balance or figure out or come in. I know there is some something that you're hoping that is going to happen in the next little while, but I'm feeling like there needs to be a little bit more balance. There needs to be some, and I don't know, is it legal? So when I ask a question like that, I do actually hear or get confirmation. So they're saying it's not legal, but there is something that you need to have some balance to figure out to get things into balance. So and I'm just going to ask if it's health related. Again, I'm getting no. So maybe you know what that is. And again, when I'm doing a reading for someone, it's personal, not all these people are watching, because we could get a couple hundred people that watch this, Margaret. So I won't get too personal with you. But definitely those scales to me mean justice, and they also mean some balancing for you as well. Let's see if there's another symbol in there. And actually, I'll hold it up. And if anybody else, I do this in my group. If you're not part of my Spiritual Readings by Kathy Facebook group, I invite you in there. I do ask people to look. I'll post a picture and tell me what they see, and then I provide feedback for them on what that means to me or what messages I get as well. So that's kind of a something I'm been doing sporadically anyway. So I invite anybody that sees a symbol in there in particular to post that. I also see a question mark for you, Margaret. So here we are, maybe about 5 weeks from now. Again, I guess I didn't explain that. So the handle represents the person I'm reading, and we go around, and I say there's about 3 months in a cup. We all have free will. We all have the ability to make choices, and things will change based on those choices. So predicting a year to me is a long time, and a lot of circumstances may have changed in then. Not to say that you couldn't ask me a question about that, but it's all good for that. So oh, there you go. Um, so, anyways, what I had seen there was a question mark for you, Margaret. So that makes me think that maybe you're questioning things or you're sorting through things. It's a symbol for me that there's a big question mark in your life or with what you're doing. So there might be something that comes in about 5 weeks from now that you need to make some sort of choice about. So that's what the question mark would make me think. So I'm going to go to the comments. I see Margaret says a heart. So hearts are wonderful. So hearts to me are love. A lot of times it's love from a past, someone that has passed, when I see it specifically in a cup. So it's always nice to know that our loved ones are around us. And even though I'm not a medium, so I do not talk directly to people that have passed, sometimes they do come in the cups, and I have had messages for people through that, but nothing. Yeah, Margaret, I wondered about that. Your album is what I was thinking with the birds. So when you see the birds, there's news or there's messages coming through. So hopefully that means that that you're and I don't know where in the cup you saw that bird, so I couldn't necessarily give you, and I don't know, this is the bottom here. If you can remember where it is, but your time wise would be, oh, sorry, it's always backwards. So this side would be about a month, then we're about 2 months, and then over all the way around would be about 3 months. So, so the bird would tell you what the timeline, based on where you're seeing the bird, as to where you might get the messages about the album that I know you have asked me about before. So let me focus on Valerie, because Valerie did ask or say that she had seen something. She sees an animal that kind of looks like a horse. I love horses. They can be what we call a totem, Totem, which is a symbol that our spirit guides could give us as to what strengths or what characteristics they're bringing in. When I think of a horse, I think of things moving quickly. I think of strength and even that flow and freedom. I really love horses because they are a strong animal and they will get work done as well. So having a horse show up is wonderful for you, Valerie, as well. So there you go. Outer edges, she saw the birds. Oh, over on this side then. So that's sooner rather than later then. So within the next month, hopefully you're going to get your answer. So I hope that makes sense to you, Valerie. But I did just want to come on and demonstrate how easy and how quick it is to do a tea reading. Again, if we had been in person and you sat there for 20 minutes trying to finish your tea, to me that takes part of the reading away. So this, when I just add the leaves and add the water, we're able to start the reading and you get your full half an hour, your full hour as a reading, as opposed to having partial time needed to consume the tea and put your energy in. So hopefully that explains how quick and how easy it is to do a tea leaf reading. I'm using my intuition as well. So that guides me for answers, just like I was saying to Margaret when I was asking those questions about whether it was a legal issue or not. I do get answers about those sort of things and use my cards too, which I do my mini readings with, to also get some other answers. But let me just quickly talk about some of the things that are very common in a tea leaf reading, people asking about career, about promotions, whether or not there's some sort of conflict at work and what might happen, good or bad related to that conflict and how they might be able to deal with it. Those are the sort of work related questions I get. I do get health, and again, I'm not a doctor, but I can give you some answers as to maybe go to try something non-traditional or try something spiritual, or if you're asking me test results, again, I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you whatever, if spirit wants you to know the answer, then the messages will come through. Again, I get asked about pregnancies a lot too. That's another big topic for people. They'd like to know if they're going to have a second child or a first child, and when, and those sort of things. Those are very common in a reading. Of course, about their love life or romance. Is there a new gentleman coming in, or woman coming in? Are they going to be a match? And how will the relationship go? I get those sort of questions. Even questions about relationships with mother, father, siblings, even a son or a daughter, and if I can provide some guidance to them for that as well. And the other common thing would be about moving. So people want to know whether or not it's a good time to move, which area they should even be looking at. Those sort of questions I'm able to provide some guidance for. So hopefully that all makes sense. You can see how easy it really is to set up the teacup for me, even though we're all online now, and how I can get answers for you if that's what you're looking for. It's really quite easy, and it's working, as I said, very well online. And I'm just happy that I can serve and provide people with the answers that they need to feel lighter, to be able to move ahead, and to do all that they're meant to do. So I'll say goodbye, and again invite you if you are looking for a reading, to schedule. You can do that directly on Facebook. I put the link in at the beginning of the video, so so you should be able to find that quick. And I do readings on Fridays and Sundays for either a half an hour or an hour. So hopefully I'll see everyone there, and I'll be able to provide you with the messages that you need shortly. So take care and have a good night.